everyone, my name is Pape, and today we're going to be making a fruit tart. For the dough, we're going to need butter, sugar, vanilla, salt, eggs, and flour, and for the pastry cream inside, we're going to need milk, sugar, cornstarch, salt, vanilla, eggs, and butter. And to decorate the top, you can use any type of fruit, but today we're going to be using blueberries, raspberries, and strawberries. So let's get started. And for this next step, we're going to cream together the butter and the sugar. We have 1 3/4 of a cup of butter, and then we have 3/4 of a cup of sugar. And you want to blend it all together until it's creamy but not aerated. Okay, now that the butter and sugar is creamed together, in a separate bowl you're going to mix the vanilla, the sugar, and 1 egg. Just give the eggs, salt, and vanilla a little whisk, and then we're going to add to the sugar and butter. And then we're just going to mix this until it's just about creamy. Okay, now that this is all combined, we're going to add 2 cups of flour, and you want to mix this until it's evenly combined, but you want to make sure not to overmix it. Now that our dough is already mixed, we're going to put it on some saran wrap. Just glob it right in the center. Alright. After all your dough is on the saran wrap, you're just going to basically put it into a ball and cover it. Alright, after your dough is in a ball, we're going to go ahead and put it in the refrigerator for either 30 minutes or overnight. So now let's get started on our pastry cream. And now for our pastry cream, we're going to be adding 2 cups of milk to a pot on the stove, half of the sugar, which is 1/4 of a cup, some salt, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And you want to bring this just to about a boil, but not too hot because the milk is going to curdle on the top because it gets too hot. So just whisk it every now and then. Now that our milk has just reached a boil point, we're going to take it off the heat and just let it cool for just a minute and move on to the next step. Our next step is going to be adding 2 eggs, cornstarch, and the rest of the sugar that we didn't use from before. And we're going to just whisk this together. And now that this is all mixed together and our milk is cooled just a little bit, we're going to start tempering it into the egg mixture. And you don't want to put it in too fast because if the milk is too hot, it's going to cook the eggs and you'll have scrambled eggs in a bowl. Now we're going to temper the milk into the egg mixture. You want to mix it in really slowly while you're constantly stirring. Alright. Now that this is all mixed together, we're going to take a strainer and just put it right over the pot that we just took the milk out of. And we're just going to pour it right back into the pot through the strainer to make sure no eggs were formed or anything. So, now that it's back all in the pot, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of butter. And you just want to mix it around until the butter is all melted. And now we're going to turn on the oven so we can get the dough ready to go. We're going to turn it on to 325 degrees. And while that's preheating, you want to bump your temperature up to medium heat, and you want to just stir constantly for about 3 minutes. Okay, now that our custard is formed, we're going to put it in a bowl over an ice bath and just give it a couple stirs. We've taken our dough out of the refrigerator that's been in there for just about 45 minutes. So basically now what we're going to do is just take the dough into little pieces and we're going to fill all of the pans. So just take a little bit, however much you think you need, and just press it right into the tins. And these don't need to be greased because there's already enough butter that's in the dough. Now that all of our tins are full, we're going to go ahead and put them in the oven for 30 minutes. And if you have any leftover dough, it can be put back in the refrigerator for a couple days, or if it's well wrapped, it can be put in the freezer and stored up to 4 months. Our tarts have come out of the oven and we've let them cool and we've taken them out and now they're on the plate. I filled up a pastry bag with the pastry cream that was in the refrigerator. So now we're just going to snip the tip off and we're going to fill the inside of the tart. Alright. And we have strawberries, raspberries, and blueberries here, and we have washed them, and now we're ready to decorate. So we'll start with some strawberries. Just give them a little fancy cut. And then we'll put some blueberries on there. And you can do this with any type of fruit. You can add nuts, you can do candy, kind of whatever you'd like to do. Alright, and then we'll fill in with some raspberries. Alright, and there we have is our fruit tart. And here we have is the finished fruit tart. And just remember, this dish is not just simple, it's simply delicious.